What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, turning up the heat with not one, but two fire-type spice picks in the Ultra League Premier. Guys, I am running the good boy down below, Shadow Arcanine. And Shadow Arcanine, I shouldn't even say the good boy. Shadow Arcanine is the best boy because Shadow Arcanine is spammy and hard-hitting with the combination of Snarl as a fast move and Wild Charge as one of the charge moves. Wild Charge from Shadow Arcanine hits like a truck, and it also has access to Flamethrower. Now, Flamethrower is not the best move in the game, however, it still hits very hard from Shadow Arcanine. Now, in the bottom left corner, I have Chandelure. Chandelure is going to be my closer because if shields are down, Chandelure can really be a wrecking ball. If it's a one-to-one shield scenario, Chandelure is not going to be as strong, though it does have some play in this meta. So I really want to get shields off with Shadow Arcanine first. So looking at this first battle, I was up against a Swampert lead. Now Swampert cannot see either of these back two Pokemon or else that's going to be game over. So I did want to stay aligned with Scrafty. Scrafty can normally beat Swampert if you can land one foul play. However, they shielded the first one and then caught the second one on a Alolan Ninetales. So great plays by them. Now they're going to come back in with a Umbreon instead of Swampert to answer for this Chandelure. I'm going to be going for the Flame Charge. It does some nice chip damage, but do they know how quickly I'll get to another one? It seems like they didn't. I mean, they probably did, but they probably didn't realize that they were going to lose CMP for sure. And so I'm going to be able to get their last shield off with that Flame Charge. They come back in with Swampert to get ahead on energy, and at this point, this Swampert has a ton of energy, so I cannot shield up this first Hydro Cannon. It will not KO my Scrafty. I just need to get to this power-up punch. However, they have another Hydro Cannon ready to go. So I'm not going to shield this. I'm going to save my shield for my Shadow Arcanine. Hopefully I can come in, shield once, and Snarl all the way down. If I do, I will have so much energy for that Umbreon. So let's see if I'm able to. They're going to be throwing the first Hydro Cannon here. And I started to worry that I had missed some mud shots and that they were closer to the next Hydro Cannon than I thought. So I do chicken out and I go ahead and throw the Flamethrower here. This will take out this Swampert. And I'm very close to the next Wild Charge to be able to hit this Umbreon very, very hard. It should be enough to take out the Umbreon. However, if they're at back-to-backs, that's game over. But they're running Dark Pulse instead of Foul Play. Dark Pulse is slightly more expensive, so they did not have back-to-backs. I'm able to make it to the Wild Charge here. Does it KO? No, they survive with just a sliver of health. And they're able to throw the Dark Pulse. So this will take out Arcanine. Can Chandelure clutch this up? Yes, Chandelure is able to withstand one more Snarl and take the dub with 1 HP. Let's go. Alright, moving to the next one. Up against a Venusaur lead. That's not the best lead for Scrafty. However, I do have two answers in the back. I'm going to immediately swap into Arcanine, and they're going to answer with a Dragon Breath Charizard. So I'm going to be building up to back-to-back Wild Charges, and they throw immediately, meaning this is only a Dragon Claw. I don't have to shield this. It will not KO. Yes, Shadow Arcanine is glassy, but not that glassy. So I'm at back-to-back Wild Charges. One Wild Charge will KO this flying fire type Charizard, and I'm going to be going for the back-to-backs here. The first one got the shield. Will the second one get a second shield? Yes, it does. I really wanted the second one to be able to take them out because now I'm going to have to come in with my Chandelure, and you're going to see this Dragon Breath damage is not anything to mess with. I'm going to have to get 3 Incinerates through to get to the Shadow Ball, and in that time, they're able to throw. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shield it up in case it is the Blast Burn, and it is, so that's a good shield. Now, I can overfarm, but you can see I'm already in the yellow just from Dragon Breaths alone. So we're going to see what they have in the back. We know they have a Venusaur. What else do you have? They're running Typhlosion. So they're also running a double fire type team. Which double fire type team is going to be better? Let's find out. Going for the Shadow Ball. It does not one-shot the Typhlosion. Just about does, but not quite. Now I did stick that Incinerate through, which means I can definitely shield up this Blast Burn, farm down, and have a Flame Charge ready to go for this Venusaur. Will Chandelure get the sweep with this Flame Charge? Is it enough to take out this Venusaur? No, not quite. It does put them in the yellow, however, which means Scrafty is going to have a very good time here. All I have to do is get to one foul play before they get to 2 Frenzy Plants. This foul play will be enough to take out this Venusaur, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Alright, so able to take a couple wins. Now I should mention some point in this video, this is definitely a spice team. I did not climb with this team. This team is too spicy to climb with, at least for me. If you're able to climb with it, good luck, but don't run this if you're trying to climb. This was just for fun. All right, moving into the next one. Up against an eggs. We're up against some eggs. I'm going to be going for the foul play. I expected them to swap out because this is a good matchup for Scrafty, but they're staying in. So instead, I'm going to build up some extra energy and catch the next Seed Bomb on Arcanine. Now, Seed Bomb's a terrible move, so it shouldn't do too much to my Arcanine. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't do too much. Considering how glassy Arcanine is, that was absolutely nothing. So we lure out the Empoleon. That is the goal, and I'm going to be able to get off this Wild Charge to either one-shot or get a shield, and it does get a shield. I actually don't think it would one-shot. It does about 85%, so they would have survived it if they wanted to chance it. Still, I can come in with Scrafty, I can go immediately for this Power-Up Punch, shield up the Drill Peck or the Hydro Cannon, whichever one they want to throw. Either one would KO from this health, and I can be building up and going for the Foul Play a little bit before they get to their next move. This will take out the Empoleon. It all comes down to what they have in the back. I'm immediately trying to swap into my Chandelure. I do have shield advantage, and in the back they have a Galarian Stun Fist. So we're doing super effective damage with all the fire type moves. We do definitely have to watch out for the Rock Slide and the Earthquake. Even the Rock Slide is going to do so much damage to Chandelure because Chandelure is just so glassy. So I am going to throw up a shield here, and they do have some extra energy. So we're going to need to throw this next Flame Charge. We cannot commit to the farm down. That next Incinerate almost took them out, but no, we're not able to. We have to throw this, which means we are out of energy. But look how much this Incinerate does to this Executor. Now, they are able to throw at me, which will take out my Candle. Can Scrafty counter down this Psychic type? Yes, Scrafty can. Again, with 1 HP, able to clutch up the game. You love to see it. Let's go. Alright, moving into the next one. Scrafty up against another Venusaur. We're of course going to be immediately swapping into Arcanine, and they come out with a Nidoqueen. Now, here's the really cool thing about how spammy Arcanine is. We can tank a Poison Fang here. If it was Earth Power, then they just one-shot me. Okay, well, that's probably game, but we go ahead and call it. It is the Poison Fang, and now I'm able to go for the Flamethrower. Look at how much this does. It does a ton of damage, and now I can go for the Wild Charge. Now, this Wild Charge is double resisted. It probably won't KO, but do they know that's where I am at? No, they don't. So we're able to get the final shield off them. They are able to farm me down, and now I have to come back in with Scrafty because they have quite a bit of energy, and I don't want to have to try to call an Earth Power. So here's Scrafty. We're going to go ahead and take whatever they throw here. It is the Earth Power, which means they are out of energy, so I can come in now with Chandelure, and they come out with a Poison Jab, Alolan Muck. And I know there's been a lot of hype this season about Poison Jab, Alolan Muck, but guys, I'm here to tell you that that is not the way, and here's why. Look at this. We're going to be able to shield just one time. One time, that's it. They are going to go ahead and Acid Spray me, of course. I mean, every Poison Jab, Alolan Mug goes straight for the Acid Spray, and then we're going to be able to farm down. We have 80 energy on our Chandelure, and they're going to be coming in again with Nidoqueen. So I can go straight for the Flame Charge here to boost my attack even more and take out this Nidoqueen. In the back, they have a Venusaur, so here we are at another Flame Charge because all that farm that we got off that Alolan Mug. That Flame Charge gets the final shield, and am I able to make it to another Flame Charge? Yes, I am. This Flame Charge will for sure KO this Venusaur, and Chandelure sweeps an entire team. Let's go! Did I mention that's because that Alolan Mug was running Poison Jab and not Snarl? Yeah, it's just not the way, guys. I mean, on some teams it is. I'm kidding, but yeah, it's not the way against this team at least. So, into the next one, up against the Scrafty lead. Their Scrafty is going to win this 100% of the time because my Scrafty is not fully excelled. Still, I'm going to be sneaking in a counter, and I'm going to be going for the Power-Up Punch. Now, since I did sneak in that counter, I could potentially shield once and flip this, but they actually snuck a counter back in right there anyways, so there's not going to be any reason for me to. I land the next Power-Up Punch, and I'm going to go ahead and no-shield this, knowing that I can get some farm on either of my back two Mons once I go down. So energy on both of these is good. I decided to come in with Arcanine because I've seen Scrafty paired up with Politoed quite a bit. So I wanted to be close to the Wild Charge in case they had a Politoed. And yep, there's the Politoed. Going for the Wild Charge. Hopefully they do not know about it. But they do, and they shield. That is so bad for me. I'm going to come in now with my Chandelure to clear that debuff and try to get to the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball will not one-shot, but it will do a ton of damage here. That one Weather Ball, holy, it did so much. And they get to another one before I get to the Shadow Ball. So now I have to throw up a shield. We're in a bad spot. And they catch the Shadow Ball somehow on Alolan Ninetales. But this could be my win con, because I'm going to be able to do quite a bit of damage with these Incinerates, and now if I can snarl down this Alolan Ninetales with my Arcanine, have back-to-back Wow Charges, and throw them both into that Politoed, I can potentially win this. So they got to a Weather Ball there. I am going to have to shield up one Weather Ball, unfortunately, but hopefully I can snarl down before they get to a third Weather Ball. Am I able to do it? Come on, Arcanine! No, they live with 1 HP. I had the back-to-back Wow Charges. That would have been enough, but they barely survive, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Alright, jumping on into the next one. Scrafty up against an Umbreon lead. What a great lead to see. I'm going to be staying in, of course, and they're staying in too, which is interesting. And then they decide to swap into a Porygon 2, so they're double weak to this Scrafty already. I'm going for the Power Up Punch. These counters are going to do massive damage to this Porygon 2, and I'm going to be going for a second Power Punch. Now at this point, I realized, hey, I need to save my Scrafty, so I have a strong answer for that Umbreon, and I go ahead and try to catch on my Candle. Do I catch? Yes, I catch the triple resisted Tri-Attack on my Chandelure, and they're going to be throwing again here. I don't think they have enough energy for a Zap Cannon, so I'm going to no-shield, and yep, it's just another Tri-Attack. They do get the defense and the attack drop, but we're able to farm down their Porygon 2 without giving up a shield. Now I'm going for the Flame Charge into this Umbreon. I am debuffed, so it won't do near as much, but it will still do some nice chip damage. Now, do they let me get to another Flame Charge? No, they decide to go ahead and throw some of their energy. This will KO my Chandelure. Even if I wasn't debuffed, I'm pretty sure that would KO my Chandelure. So now I can come back in with my Scrafty. Shields are still up, and in the back they have a Sylveon. Oh no. So I need my Shadow Arcanine to be able to get off both shields from this Sylveon, and then land a Wild Charge to take it out. So I'm going for the Flamethrower first because I don't want to debuff myself. These charms are definitely adding up even though they are resisted. Shadow Arcanine is just so glassy that they are hurting so much. I shield up the Psyshock, and now can I get to back-to-back Wild Charges before they farm me down? I'm almost there, and I throw one before I'm at the back-to-backs, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh no, this next charm is going to KO, but I'm able to make it to the next Wild Charge. Is this enough to take out Sylveon? Sylveon is pretty bulky, and unfortunately it is not. It only puts them into the red. Now I have to come in with Scrafty, and I have to get to the Foul Play. Power Punch won't be enough, and oh my gosh, those charms did so much to Scrafty. Still able to make it to the Foul Play, and they still have a very healthy Umbreon. This is not looking great, guys. I'm going to be going straight for the Power Up Punch. I did align our fast moves there, and here's the Power Up Punch. This will do some nice chip damage, but not much. It does put them into the yellow, and at this point, I'm like, I have to call the bait. I have to call the last resort, the Foul Play, and it is the double resisted Foul Play. What a call. Now I can go for my own Foul Play just to ensure the kill, and it's kind of a BM anyways, but now I can show it up with their next Foul Play. And here's mine. This will win me the game, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Oh my gosh, guys. When I saw that Sylveon come in, I thought there was no way. I'm so happy that I was able to clutch that one. Alright, moving into the next one. Up against a Talonflame lead. That's not a great lead for my Scrafty. Immediately going to be swapping into Arcanine. Both of my back two fire types do pretty well against this Talonflame. So they're going to be throwing here. I have to respect the Brave Bird. Brave Bird does a ton of damage to Shadow Arcanine, and it's just a Flame Charge bait. Still, they're going to swap out into Kingdra, and I have back-to-back Wild Charges ready to go. So here's the first Wild Charge. Does Kingdra expect it? Kingdra does not, and it does a ton of damage. So now I'm going to build up again to back-to-back Wild Charges and throw both of these. The first one, let's see, what do? They give up a shield, and the second one is either going to take them out or get their second shield. I'm okay with both. Both is going to be good for me. So let's see what they want to do. They decide to give up their second shield, and they're able to farm me down. Now I have to come in with Scrafty. I have to just accept that Scrafty's not going to be great here, and if they want to outrage my Scrafty, come on, go ahead and outrage my Scrafty. But they went with the bait with the Octazooka, so I'm going to be trying to farm down. I want to be able to bank a Foul Play if possible, and they're throwing again. This should just be another Octazooka anyways. It is. But they get the attack drop, so I'm just going to bank that Foul Play, swap into Chandelure. Now, the Incinerates would have been triple resisted. I don't even know if one would have KO'd, but they swapped out anyways into Jellicent. Going for the Shadow Ball, I was fully expecting this to one-shot, but Jellicent is just so bulky that they survive. And I wasn't even counting hexes, so I do throw up a shield, and they'd only thrown 4 hexes. It's just the Bubble Beam. A little bit unfortunate. I didn't have to shield that. but I might as well preserve some health on my Chandelure anyway. So let's see what they want to do next. Are they going to come in? They're going to come in with Talonflame. So I'm going to force CMP here with the Shadow Ball. They should be throwing right here, even if it's just the Flame Charge. And yes, we got the CMP. That is so massive. So they're going to be able to take out Chandelure. I'm going to throw one counter so I can throw in the middle of their Incinerate, but they actually tried to catch on Kingdra and they're just going to back out. That's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Alright guys, moving into the final battle of the day, up against a Stunfisk lead. We're going to be doing super effective damage with our counters. This is a good lead for me and they're staying in, which is pretty suspicious. They might be weak to Scrafty in the back. So I'm going to be going straight for the Power Up Punch here, and then they're going to be throwing very soon. Now, it's almost always Earthquake the first time, so if you're going to shield one, you should probably shield the first. However, I just didn't know how much Earthquake was going to do, so I no shield, and then they catch this next Power Up Punch on Kingdra. So that's a pretty good catch on their part. It does hit for neutral, and I'm going to have to stay in here and go for the foul play. Hopefully I can land this. If not, at least we'll get a shield, and we'll be able to come in with one of our other two Pokemon to try to take out this Kingdra. So we do get the shield. I immediately swap into Arcanine, and I could have gone for the Wild Charge before they threw, possibly saving myself from having to shield, but I figured building up to back-to-backs was a little bit more safe, so that's what I do. I do build up to back-to-backs. Here's the first Wild Charge. We'll see if they want to let this go or if they're going to give up their last shield. They give up their last shield because nobody expects Shadow Arcanine to be at the back-to-backs this quickly. This one will take out this Kingdra. Now I am greatly debuffed. They're going to come in with Gallade and two Confusions, take out my Arcanine, but I have an answer for Gallade. I have my candle, my ghost candle, Chandelure, going to be able to come in and resist all the charge moves, unless of course they're running Synchronoise. So we'll see if they are running Synchronoise. No, it's just the Leaf Blade. It is resisted. It still does a lot of damage, and they come back in with Stunfisk. Now, if I take out this Stunfisk, they're going to come back in and just Confusion me down. So I have to undercharge this so I can get a little bit of farm. That does mean that they're able to throw their charge move, but it's okay because I have a shield. Going to shield that up, and then the game lags. I'm like, oh no, am I getting Confusion down right now? Please don't let me get Confusion down right now. No, they finally go down. I'm one Incinerate away from the next Flame Charge. Is this enough to take out this Gallade? If so, that's going to be a GG's, and yes, it is. Let's go. All right, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed playing these battles. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a very spicy team. I don't recommend anybody playing it, but man, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. Alright guys, I got some more spice coming later on this week, and then we got some new Pokemon to look at later this week as well. I'm excited for this week's content. But that's going to be it for today. Until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.